What's going on, guys? Kenny here. And today I want to talk about moving on, learning to move on, because I know many people have a difficult time moving on. They have a tough time moving on from relationships, jobs, letting go of their beliefs. A lot of people have a hard time letting go. And I'm going to talk about how I learned to let go. And I know this story might seem very long-winded, but there's going to be a point at the end of it. So bear with me here, all right? So as you guys know, if you've been following the channel for a while now, I played baseball for a long time. Okay, I only just finished up 2 years ago. I played collegiately after high school. I think I first started playing when I was like 4 or whatever. But I played for a long time. Okay? And anyone who has played a sport can relate to this, whether it be football, basketball, whatever sport, you can probably relate to it, especially if you went through the recruitment process and you played in college, or maybe you just went through the recruitment process and then decided not to go play in college or whatever. You can definitely relate to this. Now, I never really got any help when it came to getting recruited, but I did find a school to go to out of high school. And the coach there that recruited me was very interested in me. He really liked the tools that I had. All right, he showed a lot of interest. All right, he came to my games. He drove over an hour, I think over 2 hours from where he lived, just to come watch me play a high school game. So he was interested. All right, and we got along. I made a pretty good first impression on the guy. I toured the school and all that stuff, and things were looking good. I was like, oh, I found a place to not only be able to play baseball collegiately, but to also get an education. This is going to be great. Now, the summer between my last year of high school and my first year of college, he ended up getting fired from that school. So a whole new coaching staff came in, and when fall came, I was at school already. Everyone basically had to try out again for the team, even the returning upperclassmen. Now, you guys are probably like, what does this have to do with learning to let go, move on? I'm going to get to it. Just give me some time. So everyone had to try out again. At least that's what they said. And I did pretty well. We did inter squads. That's just when you face your teammates, your pitchers or whatever. I hit very well off the upperclassmen. I think I went like 6 for 9, 7 for 9 or whatever, with a few doubles, a triple or whatever. Did very well. Okay, I wasn't a great player, but I knew how to hit. All right, and I could definitely see the distance between myself when it came to the tools I had as a hitter and with all the kids that were already there. So I was like, you know what? I'm easily going to make this. I'm fitting in very nicely on the team. But that wasn't the case. Those coaches, the new guys that came in, they ended up first turning me into a pitcher only a few weeks before they actually cut me. Now, I was surprised by this, but after they turned me into a pitcher only, I kind of knew where it was heading. Getting turned to a pitcher only is like, it's basically the equivalent to being at a job and they're like, oh, we're going to put you in this this program, because we're not happy with the way you're working, but we want to see you progress or whatever. So we're going to put you in this program with us evaluating you or whatever, management evaluating you. And really it's just they're getting ready to let you go. Okay. So once that happened, I was like, all right, so this probably isn't going to work out. And again, ended up getting cut a few weeks after that, was no longer on the team. And my talent aside from playing baseball, I really learned in that experience that it doesn't really matter how good you are. Okay? The thing is, sometimes you're never going to be enough for some people. It's just one person can see you as, the bee's knees, and then another person can not give a rat's ass about you. And again, it doesn't matter how buff you are, okay, how well you can hit a baseball, okay, how charming you are. Different people have different perspectives, different motivations, different outlooks on life. Not everyone's going to like you. So learning that when I was only 18, I'd definitely say it helped me a lot later on in life, because I have faced many other situations like that where, especially baseball, that a lot of coaches just didn't value me, but there were some who did. So I ended up leaving that school because I still wanted to play baseball, and I went to another school, and it was a county college. I didn't really care for the coaching staff or the teammates I had there, so I ended up deciding to leave there as well. And then COVID happened, so I had a year off or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Let's go to another school. Okay, so now I'm on my third school. And this was a school that I really liked. All right. These were coaches that really appreciated me. And we ended up having a pretty good team. All right, I did pretty decent for myself that year. Struggled a little bit in the beginning, but really turned it around towards the end, the back half of the season. And those coaches appreciated me, like I said before. And it made a world of difference. They gave me opportunities, even some extra opportunities after I didn't do so well. And I learned that the people who appreciate you are the ones that you want to keep close. And the ones who don't, you have to let them go. Now, I was done with county college, okay? Now I wanted to go back to a 4-year and finish up my degree, play baseball as well. So I went to a pretty small school, and they showed interest in me, but then the same situation happened, right? Right before I got there, the coaches got fired, all right? They got canned, they let him go, and they hired a new guy, and the new guy actually liked me a lot, right? He gave me a lot of opportunities, and I had a great year. I ended up playing very well that year, and I made a lot of great memories. It was one of my favorite seasons of baseball. And now it was on to my senior year. Okay, we had the same coach going into senior year, but during winter break, he decided to leave, go to another school, and that made way for the assistant the previous year to take over as head coach. And what a world of difference that made. This guy didn't care for me as much as the previous coach, and I barely played that year. Okay, that was my last year of baseball ever, and I still got some opportunities, and I made the most out of them. I ended up still still succeeding in my own way with the little opportunities that I was given. But the whole point of this, you guys are probably like, who cares, right, about your baseball career? And there's a lesson to be learned here. You know, the people who appreciate you, those are the ones you want to keep close. And the ones who don't, you got to move on. Now, after my last year, since COVID happened, I actually had an extra year of eligibility to play. And I was going to originally, when I still had the old coach on that last team I was on, I did plan on getting my master's and also playing one more year. It didn't hurt to get my master's. But after the whole season happened with the assistant coach that was then the head coach, and, seeing that he didn't really give a rat's ass about me, I decided not to. Because I knew if I did go back, it would just be the same thing all over again. Be the same exact thing. I wouldn't be appreciated. And I promised myself that I was done sticking around people that did not appreciate me, did not value the talents I had as a baseball player. I was done with it. Okay? And this can apply to everything in life. This can apply to a job. Okay? Like I said before, you can have a manager that loves you, treats you great. You're like, this is awesome. This is the best job ever. Let's say that manager, just like the coach, gets moved elsewhere, he gets fired. Someone else is put into their shoes, and that new person doesn't give a rat's ass about you. What do you think you're better off doing? Do you think you're better off staying there, even though they're already looking for your replacement? They don't care about you. Or do you think you're better off leaving, going somewhere where there's someone who actually does care about you, who recognizes your talents, who treats you right, gives you fair opportunities as everyone else? Which path are you going to choose? The same thing can be said for relationships. Okay? You got a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, if you're a woman watching this. If you guys are dating and then your partner decides not really to care about you anymore, they're being distant, or they're just not treating you with the respect that you deserve, what are you going to do? You're just going to stay there? Or are you going to move on? In my experience, you are much better moving on. All right? They don't care about you anymore. Okay? They're already looking for your replacement, or who knows, maybe they found your replacement already and they just don't have the guts to tell you. That is the case a lot of the time. And I'm telling you right now, you're much better off being with the people who appreciate you, who value you. And I know there's this big movement, especially among young people now on social media. It's like, you got to fight, hustle, hustle, hustle. You got to keep going. But the reality is, you cannot win a fight that you've already lost. Okay? You just can't. Now, in the baseball situation, I was competing against guys who were favored much higher than I was. Okay? They could do no wrong. A game could go by, They could strike out 4 times, go 0 for 4, 4 strikeouts, drop a pop fly, and they'd still get another opportunity. Whereas with that same coach, I could go out there, bobble 1 ground ball, that's it. My next opportunity is an at-bat in the bottom of the 7th inning when we're losing by 20 runs to a top team in the conference. The equivalent of that to, let's say, a relationship is you're not getting the time of day all of a sudden. All right, they find someone else. Okay, you're no longer with that girlfriend or boyfriend. And then let's say it doesn't work out between them and their new partner, and then they come crawling back to you when they're down in the dumps. That's basically the equivalent to that situation. So again, what's the point of all this? It's to move on. You can't win every battle. You can't keep adding wood to the fire. Right? Sometimes you just got to let it die out. A lot of the times you actually just have to let it burn out. Okay? So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this chat. It came from the heart. Okay? I think it can help a lot of people. I mean, it's helped me just from those life experiences. I guess you could say I've cultivated a very strong way of being able to look ahead. If I didn't succeed somewhere or with something, there's always something else. Okay? There's always something else. Right? Baseball, it didn't work out. I got to play collegiately, but any hopes of playing beyond there, it didn't work out. So for me, it's like I have to find something else. I'm better off finding something else that I can succeed at, that I can put all my passion into. And I know a lot of you guys might be in the same situation. Maybe not the same exact situation as me, but it's basically the same thing. You're stuck somewhere and you just feel down in the dumps. It's probably best to move on. Learn to let go. All right, it's going to make you much, much stronger. And you're going to thank yourself down the road. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.